Okay, so currently we're looking at the next sensor challenge that has to do with tracking lines. So we've got a color sensor facing down. We're looking at the black lines on the field, and this challenge asks to get the robot to cross two black lines and then turn right, cross one black line, turn left, and land on the colored square. So let's just start out with getting the robot to cross two black lines. Okay, to do that, we're looking at the Wait for Dark program. It's a sample code. If you go to Open Sample Program, it's in the VexIQ folder under Color Sensor. All right, and we're using the Clawbot Deluxe. All right, so we're going in VexIQ Color Sensor line following. We want Wait for Dark. Okay, so here's your Wait for Dark code. Now it needs a couple of changes to work with our existing virtual world environment. One is we need to make sure that our robot motor and sensor setup is correct. So you go to Motors and Sensors Setup, and you'll have a line detector on port 3. The color needs to be, the sensor type should be color sensor grayscale. So you need to select color grayscale here and do apply in order for this to be the correct setup for your robot. And then with the code, we need to get the correct values in here. So you'll see this first set of code lines, but the difference is in the condition. So I've changed the condition so that the get color value line detector, what we're looking for is a value greater than 300. When you watch the sensor value here, you'll see that the value is greater than 300 when you're in the white and less than 300 when you're over a black line. So you'll need to change this to greater than 300 for the condition. Now that'll just get you all the way to the first black line. But you'll need to add a second line of code to get you across the black line. So you need to change your condition to less than 300. So you'll go from the black line all the way until you encounter white again. That'll get you across the first black line. Another set of while loops will get you to the next black line and then across it. And then I've added one more while loop, essentially going until the third black line. So rather than just getting to the second black line, we need to cross it. And for that reason, I've got this last 2-bit of code that's going to get us all the way to the third black line. All right, so you'll try this code here in the virtual world, which, by the way, is always changing. Each time you run the code, it's going to be different. The lines will be positioned in different places, but let's try it here. All right, we encountered the first black line and crossed it. Watch those color sensor values. Here we get into the second black line. We're going to cross it, and we'll go all the way to the third black line and stop. All right, and then here you would make your 90-degree turn, go forward to the first black line, cross it, and then you'll turn left and get into the colored square. Let's try a second run. You'll see that it's a different layout. Still, we've got two black lines, and we'll try and get all the way to the third one before we stop. Let's see how it goes. Okay, we've crossed the first black line. We're in the white, looking for a black line. We see it, we cross it, we go to the third black line and stop. Perfect. Every time you run it, it'll be different, but it should always get you to that third black line.